The Accident Compensation Commission is earning somewhere in the region of $4 million a year running the car park at Middlemore Hospital. Parking fees at the hospital are under fire after the father of a premature baby started a petition calling for the $20 fee for 4 or more hours a day to be scrapped. Alan Dexter started an online petition after spending $140 a week on parking to visit his premature firstborn son and his ailing wife. This is an unusual arrangement. The land at Middlemore belongs to the DHB. Charges for the car park were introduced roughly 15 years ago. In 2010, ACC took over the contract for the park, running it, maintaining it and expanding it in return for the revenue. Now, there are 25 free parks for the parents of sick children, and people receiving dialysis also park for free. But if it's not free, it's not cheap. Philip Barmer is the Director of Hospital Services for Counties Manukau DHB. I spoke to him a short time ago, and he defended the price of parking and the arrangement with ACC.
But to be fair, we also receive funding from ACC for rehabilitation, for injuries and for a range of other things. So I suppose it helps to support the role that ACC has in looking after injured patients.
Okay, but you're not directly taking money from the car park and spending it on healthcare at Middlemore, are you? It's going actually into the ACC coffers, isn't it?
Absolutely. We would not receive that directly. We would receive it through the funding that ACC will provide for our patients.
And how much ACC pulling out of your car park each year? About $4 million, is that correct?
I would not be precise. I think you'd need to talk to ACC about that.
Okay, so you don't know how much...
There are operational costs, obviously. We have 24-hour security. We have significant infrastructure and maintenance of that infrastructure.
Philip, are you happy with $20 as the rate, which kicks in at 4 hours? After 4 hours, you pay $20 in a community which, in broad brushstroke terms, is low socioeconomic?
The belief that we have as a contract which was agreed and established, as I say, quite some time ago, as to the precise charging rates, I think that's something which would need to be discussed directly with ACC.
Isn't that a bit convenient? If it's your hospital, you are the Director of Hospital Services, you have given ACC the contract, ACC are making revenue out of this. Are you saying that what is being charged there is not your responsibility and not your concern? What we undertook when we established the contract to commission the additional parking was a fee schedule that was part of an agreement that we established some time ago, back in 2010. Right, so you agreed to these fees. So the hospitals agreed to these fees?
Absolutely. And again...
So if you'd agreed to the fees, why can't you answer my question without actually referring to and deferring to ACC? I want to know from you whether you think $20 for 4 hours in Middlemore, which is in a low socioeconomic community, is fair and reasonable.
My response, John, would be we are consistent with the $20 per day fee schedule, and we have...
Who else charges $20 per day after 4 hours?
After 4 hours, we would be charging, the daily rate would be $20 an hour for both Auckland and for Waitemata.
Right. I thought Waitemata was 18 after 7. You're 20 after 4.
So the rate that they would charge would be after 7 would be $20, yes. What we would be encouraging people to do would be to look at alternative forms of transport, public transport, Manukau Super Clinic and the shuttle bus, which is free. And again, we come back to the point, which is we have a fixed site with a good proportion of parking that's available for patients, but it is always going to be limited. So for us, anything we can do to reduce the congestion on this site would be sensible. So what we do in some instances is we provide free train tickets for patients who are attending to promote the awareness about that option. And we also provide detailed information to people when we're sending out about appointments about the parking, about the options that they could use for coming to the Middlemore site.
Is your car park full every day?
No, it's not, but it is a very busy hospital site. We have got the busiest emergency department in New Zealand.
Right, but your ambulances aren't driving through your car park, are they? I mean, they're not dodging mum and dad coming to visit their child or somebody coming in for chemotherapy as they're going into emergency, are they?
We, as a result of having a very busy emergency department, also have a very busy hospital, and we do need to make sure that the parking is available for our patients and their family. And if we see the need, because of expressed need by patients or expressed need by family to address their barriers to access, then we are very proactive in doing that. And we actually have it as a standard process when people are being admitted to the neonatal unit or to the paediatric ward, and we actually sign it off and check that we've spoken to the parents and said, is parking a problem? And this is the process for you accessing the free parking.
Philip, we really appreciate your time, and I'm very grateful. But I have to say I don't understand a lot of what you're saying. And so, I mean, what are you saying? Do you think that after 4 hours, $20 is reasonable? Do you think that a rate of $5 per hour at 4 hours is fair in a community like the South Auckland community that Middlemore serves? And it is more, and it does kick into the high rate earlier than any other hospital in New Zealand.
I can't speak to that, John. I don't know. And what I would say is that if you were here with your family, I would like to think that we would be able to identify quickly with you the options that you would have in terms of accessing the site, and if costs were a barrier, then we would be able to talk to you about other options.
Philip Barmer, Director of Hospital Services.